everybody, welcome back. My name is JoJo if you are new here. This channel shares with you all our family's journey to financial freedom, and we are starting by paying off our six-figure debt that we started with in February of last year. Today's video, I'm going to be doing my week 4 check-in for paycheck number 2. I normally close out my budget and do my weekly check-in on variable expenses all in one video, but I think I'm actually going to start breaking those two up just when I am closing out my paychecks. We'll see how it goes, but I'm trying to keep my videos around 15 minutes or less, and they seem to be quite a bit longer when I try to bundle everything together. Today's video, I'm just going to be sharing with you guys my weekly check-in on my variable expenses, which my husband and I get paid bi-weekly, so each paycheck covers 2 weeks worth of variable expenses. I did my week 3 check-in last Friday. I'll link that video in an information card if you want to check that out. But over here I have my transaction log. I filled this out twice a week, and I color code over here yellow for any variable expense. What we're gonna do is first start by filling out that this is for paycheck number 2, and then the dates of the transactions. Let's see, it looks like it'll be from March 4th until the 10th, and then this is for week number 2. Week number 4. And I'm actually going to show you guys how I come to all of these numbers, since I am splitting this video out, can kind of show you a little more how I calculate my numbers. So for groceries, what I do is I keep a running tally of what is remaining from what I budget for each category. And for groceries, I budget $400. So I can see over here that's negative to me, and the remaining means that I'm over budget by this amount. So what I spent in 2 weeks on groceries was $424.75. Tomorrow when I go to close out my budget, you'll see that total amount put into my variable expenses section, where I total week 3 and week 4 together. But I like to split these two up, and to figure out how much I spent this week on groceries, I just take that total and minus the $210.90 that I spent last week, and that tells me that I spent $213.85 on groceries, and then I was over by the $24.75. All right, next for eating out, the last time we ate out, we got pizza. We really like to get pizza from Papa Murphy's. It's very inexpensive, and I get text messages whenever they're having deals, which I love. And we ended up being under budget by $63.67. I budget $100 for us in our eat out and entertainment category, and since we were under budget, then I'll subtract the $63.67. So all we ended up spending total in the last 2 weeks was $36.33. And then I'm just going to subtract out what we spent last week. And all we had spent was the $23 on pizza. Okay, and then we are under by $63.67. Next is household and pets. We were over budget by $44.40. I budget $125, so we'll add the $44.40 to that. And then we're going to subtract out the $90.59, and that tells me we spent $78.81, and then we were over by that $44.40. Next is gas. We were under budget, thankfully, and I budget $150, so I'm going to subtract the $15.34, and we spent $134.36, and then I'll subtract out $73.41, and we spent $61.25. We were under budget by $34. My husband, let's see, is he on this one? No, he's on right here. And he was over budget by $22.83. I budget $80 for us. Okay, so he had spent $102.83, and then last week he had spent $68.82. So this week he spent $34.01, and then he was over by that $22.83. And then for me, let's see right here. I had spent, I think that was the only, oh no, I made a couple of purchases. Okay, so I was under budget by $52.12, and last week, oh, I didn't spend anything. So total I spent was $27.88. I have my 4-year-old here with me. He's hanging out, so you guys might hear him. Just mom life, you know, you kind of squeeze stuff in when you can. And what I do is actually, this money that's left over, this $52.12, that's going to go into a sinking fund. And it builds up for more expensive beauty purchases, or if I want to go out for a brunch with a girlfriend, or go to the spa, or clothes, anything like that. Really whatever I want to spend it on. So I'm going to write that $52.12, but next to it I'm just going to say it's going to be $0 remaining, because I'm going to zero that out. And I'm trying to think, I think this was just like a little margarita drink or something, and then this was some lotion and just kind of grooming stuff from Walmart. I also use like Nair and stuff like that. That might be TMI, but that was just what those purchases were for. Next is my oldest. Let me see, he is, where did I have him at on here? He is right here. Okay, so he had just, I think it was just this $8 here. And my husband likes to stop a lot at the gas station and get treats and snacks for the kids and stuff. So that's where most of his stops come from. Let's see, so my oldest has $2 remaining. My daughter, let's see, I budget $20 for each of our kids, and that is just for like cash if they're going out with a friend, or if they want to get a treat at the gas station, or a little toy or something. You know, like when you're out with your kids, they are always wanting to have something. I like to have stuff budgeted, but then once that money is spent, I can tell them, you know, like, oh, we don't have any money for it. Yeah, it snowed here, and so my little guy's talking about the snow outside. Let's see, so I had spent my daughter had used $7.99, and then she was under by $12.01. And really for her, a lot of what she's been spending on is some games on her Kindle, like Roblox and Minecraft. And somehow, you guys will see this next week when I do my weekly check-in, but she had a parental control taken off, and so all of the spending came through. I talked to her about that. We put the parental control back on, but yeah, it was quite a shock when I was looking at our bank account. It wasn't anything extreme, but it's still, she blew through her spending money pretty fast. And let's see, my youngest, so he right here. So that was all he had spent, was $4 on a treat. And you guys probably hear my laundry going off. That's actually my dryer. You know, just multitasking, because I have 3 kids and I also work, so there's always stuff going on. Now what I'm going to do is just add these together. I'm going to speed you guys through that. So, I had caught my mistake. You guys were probably like trying to tell me through the camera what my mistake had been, but for my daughter, I forgot to subtract out the money that she had spent last week. So this 1201 totals $7.99 total. So $3.99 she spent last week, and then she spent $4 this week. So I adjusted this total, but I really like having this remaining and this spent because I can double check my numbers and see when I make a mistake, which is quite often because when you got a 4-year-old running around and laundry going off, you know, it just gets kind of crazy. But total what we had spent was $454.80, not taking this to zero. But over here, if I don't count this remaining that I had, what we're left with, we are still under budget, you guys, by $17.04, even when I zero this out. So that is leaving us in a great spot. We were over budget in some areas, but we managed to stay on track and actually be under budget in other areas. And overall, it left us being under budget with our variable expenses. Those are all my yellow boxes. I'm going to go through and check these all off. And then when I see you guys back here tomorrow, I'm going to close out this paycheck number 2, and we'll finish reconciling the rest of these boxes that you see over here and pay off some debt. I cannot wait. I'll see you guys tomorrow.